welcome back to Leap of Faith Life. I'm Azar, and today we're talking a little bit about natural remedies for panic attacks. Know that you are not alone, that this was requested by multiple different people, and that talking about it helps a lot more than staying silent about it. So I encourage you to talk to those around you about what you might be experiencing. Let's share any tips and tricks in the comments below that you guys have. And that's not to minimize this. This is a very big thing that people work through, but there are things that we can slowly begin to untangle and unwind the process and the experience and what triggers it. But let's jump right into the tips and tricks on things that might serve you the next time you move through this experience. This isn't to replace any medication or therapies that you're currently on. These are just different holistic ways that you can try out to see if these serve or help you in any way, shape, or form. Tip number one, breath work. There's very limited things that you can reach for when you're in the moment because it just feels like the world is closing in, everything's black, and you've got like this much space to work with. Breath is one of those main things that's going to help you move through the experience. You probably already do this when you're going through an attack, but we want to work with it, refine it a little bit more in order to help you come down a little bit quicker and to have a little bit more of an impact as well. So breath work, there's many different types of techniques, but one that I'll share with you today is to inhale to the count of 4 and exhale for longer to the count of 6 maybe. So you don't have to count if that's too much for you in mid-attack, but the main point is to inhale for shorter and exhale for longer. This helps bring us down a little bit faster from being panicky and in the moment and taking us out of that moment. Now you want to concentrate, the breath wants to live in the chest and shallow and quick when we're having an attack. You can kind of feel that, and it just kind of helps, it doesn't help, it makes everything close in together. In order to breathe out of the chest or to come out of that space, out of that panic moment, we want to breathe out of the belly. So you imagine your navel, your belly button, filling up that space like it's a balloon, expanding it out. On the inhale and on the exhale, you're collapsing that balloon back in. So you want the breath to be moving out of the belly instead of the chest. The belly is going to provide bigger, rounder breath in order to bring you down faster than in the chest. The chest is going to keep you in that very thin, panicky space. So to bring these techniques to a space that you can actually remember when you're mid-attack, breath is inhaling shorter, exhaling for longer, breathing out of the belly. When you are concentrating on your breath, you don't have space to think about the anxiety. The saying is that you can't breathe deeply and be anxious at the same time. That's counterintuitive. So the bigger the breath, the less the panic and anxiety have to feed off of. 2, mantra. Now, the body thinks with anxiety or panic attack that there's a tiger in the room, that fight or flight has kicked in. We have to convince it, we have to remind the brain that there's not a tiger in the room. The more that we can bring the attention back to something else, whether that's breathing or a mantra, an affirmation, the less it has to focus on whatever has triggered that attack. So a good mantra is something very short, very simple, and very powerful. I'm going to suggest some ones that work for me, but again, this is something really personalized and specific to you, the fingerprint of anxiety or panic attacks that you have. So for me, when I'm in mid-moment, I think all I can do is focus on my breath and thinking the mantra, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. It's very simple, it's telling my brain, hey, everything's fine, everything's fine. And it sounds like it wouldn't make a big difference, but you're rewiring the brain in that moment, bringing it from kind of shifting, unplugging from one space of that panic and plugging into, I'm hearing that it's okay, I'm hearing it's okay. So it's plugging into that rather than plugging into the, oh my God, we're not okay, we're not okay. So thinking something like, I'm in my body, I'm in my body, I'm in my body, I am here, I am here, I am here, I am okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. This is okay, everything's fine, all is well, all is well. The more simple and powerful that you can make the suggestion or the wording, the more that mantra is going to take effect and resonate in the brain and help keep you down. So I do have a video on mantras for health. There's other different mantra videos as well, but I'll link that one above. And this one is just one to give you an example of different things that you could be saying to yourself. Very simple, powerful phrases. So these are two really powerful things to punch together in order to start clearing the way for more space to begin to focus on other things, other lifelines that you can begin to grab onto to slowly work your way down from the attack. So part of the body's natural response here in an attack is that it thinks that there's danger. We talked about that tiger before. Our brain is trying to help us by getting away from that danger. Now, the issue is we've created, not that we've made this, but we've thought our way into a spiral loop, and our body thinks it's very, very, very real. Whether that is, if it's been set off by not having enough money or something, something horrible happening, those things are very real, but the way our mind has digested that information is into thinking it needs to run and save us from something, whereas we need to have a clear and calm mind if something horrible has happened. Fight, flight, or freeze is really what happens. So some people they just can't, they stop moving if they're in a situation that is truly endangering them, or also when they're mid-attack. So our sympathetic nervous system is what puts us in flight or flight. They're both very powerful. If you're in a dark alley, for example, you want to have that system turned on. But if you're in mid-attack, we want to take that energy, so fight, flight, or freeze, and we're sitting down and grounding. So you're getting down on the earth, you're sitting down, you're laying down, whatever you need to do to make yourself feel better in that space. Maybe sitting on a chair, maybe lying on the bed with a lot of blankets on you, or maybe just getting really big spaciousness and spreading out your arms and legs to sit somewhere. Now you might need to be walking, and sometimes this will vary from attack to attack because I've had both that have helped me in the past. I've needed to completely get out of the situation. So one time I think it was in a coffee shop, and I just walked outside and I just continued walking as fast as I could down the street, and that was just a way for my body to discharge and think that it was fleeing from the scene, that I just needed to have that movement and walking energy to get and slowly unravel the intensity of the attack. Sensation is a really big one for kind of getting again into that reminder of we're in our body. So taking ice and putting it under the tongue. This might be once you've calmed yourself with mantra and breath work and moving or sitting, and that helps your body focus on, hey, this is really cold, this is really cold, or you suck on the ice as well. This is just, again, getting your body to focus on something else sensationally, that tactile touch, rather than focusing on whatever it was that set off the trigger. Another way is to use an ice pack, and you push that. I have like a little eye mask, eye pack that I use for migraines. Navigate your brain away from whatever triggered the attack. So placing it on the eyes, placing it on the chest, holding, cuddling it, whatever you need to do, focusing in on that temperature difference. What really has helped me in the past is going into the shower. So I've actually had to do this fully clothed before when I was my first worst attack. I went right into the shower and sat in the shower. The deeper breathing. 2, I was saying I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, so mantra. 3, I was sitting down, I was getting rooted. And then 4, I was getting another sensation on my body. There is EFT, acupressure, and mudras. What the heck are all these things? There are in-depth videos that I have here and here on different practices that you can use. If you boil it all down, it is basically releasing energy that blocks that you have in your body. So just like acupuncture, it uses needles to move energy within the body. Acupressure does the same thing, just using pressure points within the body, on meridian lines, on nadi lines that carry energy within the body. So moving energy on those freeways in the body by using needles or pressure. But the ones that I'm suggesting here are mudras, which is yoga for your hands and also redirects energy, as well as acupressure points that will also release stored energy that's blocking you. So in that moment, there's just a huge block in the body, and it just feels like really intense panic, stress, anxiety. These are different ways that are going to help you settle down from there. So obviously we've built that foundation of calming the mind enough to breathe, to have a mantra in the head of we're calm, it's okay, it's okay. We're getting the body to either move or to sit down. And then we're getting some sensation in the body to remind the body that it is, that to feel other things other than just the panic. So then you can move into reminding the body to release, or getting the body to release. And it's a very simple, easy, whether it's a mudra, holding just one mudra as you're breathing, as you're saying the mantra, as you're sitting down or walking, you're doing that extra action with the body to help it detox and release all of the stress and panic bubble that's existing. EFT tapping is also very powerful in that it is releasing memory within the body, whatever the trigger might have been. It lives at a deeper level. So I'll link up the resources that I have on that. They're also based in the toolkits that I offer, but boiling it down to something very basic and simple is it's systematically calming down the body. The next tip might sound very simple, but stick with me because it's really important. So once we've gotten the body to slowly work its way down, you might still be in the midst of the attack, but it's going to be a lot lower of a level than when you started with because you've taken it down notch by notch with the first few tips. So this next tip here is to eat something and drink water. The body, there's lots of different studies that show that anxiety tends to increase, or stress tends to increase when we are dehydrated. Our bodies can't function as clearly and as well, so getting water into the system is going to be really important to help it calm down and to give it the tools that it needs to continue to calm down. So hydrating is going to be super, super important, and staying hydrated for the rest of the day and the next couple days. Especially when you're in that recovery phase, it's like coming down from a migraine, you want to be really gentle and sweet with the body. And then eating something is also going to help. So in a panic or anxiety attack, blood sugar is dropping. So it's important to remember if you've eaten something, whether or not you have, you want to get something very nutritious, and it's going to also help the body and the different hormones that are happening when an attack happens. You want to use the things that you're consuming to also counteract that and balance that out. Walnuts are shown to be really good, as well as dark chocolate. There's a lot of different reasons these things are really important, but the basics are you want to get something whole into your system, something that is going to love and nurture on your body. Tea is another good resource if you're not into drinking lots and lots of water. Tea will be really powerful. Using either like a peppermint or a chamomile tea will be really important as well. Those are two really important anxiety reduction teas that I also mentioned in my toolkit. But those two are going to help to calm the body, to relax the body and mind, and remind it to ground in that sensation. You can use drinking tea or water as a moving meditation, noticing the temperature as it comes onto your tongue, noticing the smell, noticing the taste as you sip it, really feeling through and taking the time to create a moment where your mind is pulled off of whatever has triggered you and is infused into that tea or that food, savoring some chocolate, and to bring it down another notch. So once you're down to a more neutral space, you can switch to a toolkit of nurturing self-care, which is the next video that I have in this series. What to include in your toolkit. Great, you've come down from the panic attack. You're still going to be feeling really sensitive and vulnerable, and we all have our specific feelings that we have after an attack. And having a toolkit ready of things that you can just have and take right away, as far as essential oils or clothing that you are wearing, things like the ice masks that you can just have at the ready. So how do you prevent attacks from happening in the first place? That'll be the trifecta piece of this series. So we'll be covering those in the next video. I'm so glad that you guys took a moment to yourself to just think about what it is that helps you during an attack, what could help other people around you. Having those conversations going is very important. This is a really big act of self-care to be watching this video, so I'm really excited that you took the time to space to breathe. If you need additional resources, I've got lots of meditations available to also help you in your journey. If you're looking for other resources, there's a ton of playlists and videos on my channel that help to reduce the experience of stress in general. So I hope you guys check those out. Please leave any comments below if you have any questions. And as a thank you, if you want to hit the like button, that really helps out the algorithm and is a nice thank you to me. And also helps me to know what videos really resonate with you guys. I hope you are well. I wish you peace and love. We are in this together, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. That you can't be anxious and have anxiety at the same time.